Marcus Turner lives a simple life in Willow Creek, a small town with a population of less than 3,000 people. Here, everyone knows each other, at least through meetings at the grocery store or the only coffee shop in town. Marcus is the type of person that everyone loves. He is sincere, dedicated, and always willing to help anyone in need. He works at the town's mechanical workshop, where he has worked since graduating from high school. At 35, Marcus had never been away from Willow Creek for more than a few days. Every morning, he wakes up at 6 o'clock, makes coffee, checks his mailbox, and spends some time reading before going to work. Marcus loved books on philosophy and history, and although he was not highly educated, his knowledge impressed many people in town. Marcus's mechanical workshop is located about a 10-minute drive from his home. His job is not only to repair cars, but also to talk to customers, listen to their stories, and sometimes give sincere advice. Marcus has always believed that kindness has the power to change the world. A small action can make a big difference, he often told himself. Marcus's life is peaceful, but somewhat monotonous. He is satisfied with the little things, a cool morning, a good book, or the laughter of children playing in the neighbor's yard. But deep inside, Marcus felt like something was missing. He wasn't sure what it was, perhaps an adventure, or someone to share life with. Still, he never felt the need to rush. One October evening, after work, Marcus drove his old pickup truck home. It was dusk, and the headlights of his car illuminated the deserted road winding through the woods. When he was about 3 miles from home, he saw a blue sedan parked on the side of the road, its warning lights flashing in the darkness. In front of the car was a woman, trying to change a tire, but clearly unfamiliar with it. Marcus slowed down, stopped the car on the side of the road, and got out. The evening wind is chilly, carrying the smell of damp earth after the afternoon's light rain. The woman raised her head, looking wary, but quickly realized Marcus wasn't a danger. "Need help?" Marcus asked, his voice friendly. The woman smiled wryly. "I think so. The tire is flat, and I can't get the screws out." "It's okay, let me help," Marcus said, picking up the tools she was using. "I'm Marcus. I live not far from here." "I'm Sarah Collins," she replied. "I was on my way to visit my family, but I didn't expect to encounter trouble like this on the way." Marcus quickly checked the tire condition, then went to get his tools from his car. While he worked, Sarah stood beside him, both grateful and curiously looking at this strange man. Marcus worked calmly and professionally, and after only 15 minutes, he had changed the tire. "Done," he said, patting the new tire. "You should check this tire when you get there, just to make sure everything's okay." Sarah breathed a sigh of relief, a bright smile appearing on her face. "Thank you very much. It's so lucky to meet you. Otherwise, I don't know what to do on a dark night like this." "Nothing," Marcus replied, smiling. "As long as you're safe, that's fine." They exchanged a few small stories about the town, about Sarah's journey, and Marcus couldn't help but notice the way she spoke, softly, but filled with strength. Before leaving, Sarah looked at Marcus, her eyes shining with something that Marcus couldn't describe. "It's rare to find someone as kind as you," she said. "I will remember this forever." Marcus nodded, feeling a bit shy. He stood watching Sarah's car disappear into the darkness, then returned to his car. As he drove home, a strange feeling crept into his heart. Not exactly regret or worry, but as if some door had just opened. But he quickly brushed it aside. His life is still the same. Still peaceful Willow Creek. Marcus could not have known that his small act of kindness that evening would set in motion a chain of events that would change his life forever. The next morning, Marcus woke up to sunlight streaming through his bedroom window. He pulled the curtains and looked outside, but an unexpected sight made him stand still. In front of his house, a shiny black SUV parked quietly. The windows were dark, and there was absolutely no sign of anyone inside. Marcus frowned, trying to remember if he had asked anyone to come over today, but his mind went blank. "That's strange," he muttered, wondering who the car belonged to. After washing his face and having breakfast, he went out to observe more closely. The car remained silent. It looked brand new, without any scratches, and the license plate didn't belong in the area. Marcus stepped closer, but didn't dare touch. The car door was closed. There was no sign that anyone was inside. A feeling of insecurity began to creep into his heart. Marcus decided to ask the neighbors. He went to Mr. Harris's house, who lived right opposite. "Have you seen that black SUV parked here?" he asked. Mr. Harris shook his head, his face showing curiosity. "I didn't notice. Maybe it came at night." Marcus thanked him and continued to ask other families, but no one knew anything about the car. He went back to the house and turned on the security camera he installed a few months ago after a small burglary in town. But strangely, the recording from last night was completely blank, as if the camera had stopped working at the exact moment the SUV appeared. All day long, the car remained parked there, like an unexplained ghost. Marcus couldn't concentrate on anything, filled with worry and questions. He tried to convince himself that perhaps someone had the wrong address or was waiting for someone. As it began to get dark, Marcus decided he couldn't wait any longer. He put on his coat, grabbed a flashlight, and stepped outside for a final check. But as soon as he got close, the SUV's engine suddenly started. Marcus stood still, his heart pounding. The car backed out of the driveway, turned around and sped away into the darkness, leaving Marcus standing in shock, more confused than ever. In the days after the mysterious appearance of the black SUV, Marcus's life began to fall into a state of stress he had never experienced. One afternoon, while repairing Mr. Harris's old truck, Marcus noticed the black SUV appear again, this time parked right in front of the mechanical workshop. Not long after, a tall man wearing a black vest and sunglasses got out of the car. The man calmly walked towards Marcus, a faint smile on his lips. "Mr. Turner, I'm James Bennett." The man introduced himself. "We need to talk." Marcus stopped, filled with doubt. "How can I help you?" he asked, trying to stay calm. "I come on behalf of the Collins family to express our profound gratitude for what he did for Sarah Collins last week. Our family will never forget those who helped us." Marcus frowned, not expecting that a small action like helping change a tire would make people send a representative to thank him. "It's nothing, Mr. Bennett. Actually, it's just a small thing that anyone would do." Bennett shook his head, the smile never leaving his face. "The Collins family doesn't consider it a small thing. He helped Sarah in a time of need, and we wanted to reciprocate by helping him in the appropriate way." To Marcus's surprise, Bennett took a thick envelope from his briefcase and placed it on a nearby desk. "This is a small amount of money that you can use for the mechanical workshop or any purpose you want. In addition, the Collins family also suggested that you consider a job position at one of their companies. Gus, salary and working conditions are very good." Marcus felt discomfort rising. "I appreciate it, but I can't accept this. I really didn't do anything to deserve it." Bennett tilted his head, his eyes behind his sunglasses unpredictable. "Mr. Turner, the Collins family is not used to hearing no, but if you feel you need time to think, we are willing to wait." Marcus nodded, trying to stay calm. "I will think." The man nodded slightly, placing another business card on the table before leaving. "If you change your mind, Don't hesitate to get in touch. We're here to help. The black SUV drove away, leaving Marcus feeling confused and uncomfortable. He looked at the envelope on the table. Curiosity prompted him, but his pride and insecurity prevented him from opening it. That whole evening, Marcus couldn't concentrate on anything. He told this story to Mr. Harris, but he just shook his head and told him to be careful. In the following days, Marcus received many gifts from the Collins family. New tools for the workshop, a formal thank you letter, and a grant request to upgrade all of the town's facilities. Willow Creek. Initially, Marcus refused everything, but the pressure from the constant appearance of Bennett and the Collins family gradually softened him. Marcus agreed to accept partial support for the mechanical workshop, hoping that it would put an end to their interference. However, things don't stop there. Marcus begins to notice the hidden conditions that come with these gifts. Bennett appears frequently, offering suggestions on how Marcus should manage the workshop, which customers he should prioritize serving, and even who he should avoid dealing with. Marcus felt like he was being monitored and controlled, but he didn't know how to get out of this situation. One day, while examining documents sent by Bennett, Marcus discovered a shocking detail. The Collins family was not simply a wealthy family. They are involved in a complex network of finance and power, with wide-ranging regional and national influences. Sarah Collins, the woman he helps, is actually an important figure in this organization. His act of helping her that day was not just a coincidence. It was the starting point for a chain of events that Marcus never expected. As Marcus sat in the darkness of his office, contemplating everything that had happened, a chilling thought ran through his mind. Had he accidentally stepped into a game much bigger than himself? And is there still a way out for him in this story? Marcus Turner sat alone in a small office, the light from the desk lamp casting a pale yellow color on the stack of documents in front of him. His mind was spinning with recent discoveries. The Collins family is not simply a wealthy family. They operate a huge network of finance and power with far-reaching connections that Marcus could not have imagined. Sarah Collins, the woman he once helped on the lonely road, was no ordinary woman. She is at the center of a complex system, and Marcus's unwitting help for her puts him in a dangerous game. The next day, Marcus decided to face James Bennett. He called the phone number on the business card. His voice was calm but could not hide his determination. "Mr. Bennett, I need to see you." Bennett answered immediately, his voice still maintaining its familiar calmness. "Of course, Mr. Turner. I'll be at your workshop in an hour." Just as promised, the familiar black SUV stopped in front of Marcus's mechanical workshop. James Bennett stepped out, still in his perfect black suit, his eyes unpredictable behind his sunglasses. "Mr. Turner," he began, "I take it you have thought about our offer." Marcus nodded, pointing to the chair near the desk. "Mr. Bennett, I have realized that your family does not simply want to thank me. So, what is your real purpose?" Bennett was in no hurry to answer. He took off his sunglasses, placed them on the table, and looked straight at Marcus with sharp eyes. "You are a smart man, Mr. Turner. The Collins family appreciates people like you. We don't just want to thank you. We want to invite you into a larger network, an opportunity to change his life, and this whole community." Marcus crossed his arms over his chest, his eyes filled with suspicion. Change how? And under what conditions? Bennett smiled faintly. "Our family needs someone trustworthy at Willow Creek, someone who can help us carry out important projects. In return, you will receive comprehensive support, financial, technological, and strong relationships. But, of course, that also comes with responsibility. Marcus clearly felt the tension in the air. What responsibility, Mr. Bennett? I don't want to be turned into a puppet. No one is forcing you to do anything, Mr. Turner. But if you refuse, we cannot guarantee that there won't be consequences. Bennett's voice remained calm, but contained an underlying threat. Marcus stood up and walked a few times around the room. He felt like he was stuck between two inevitable choices. On one side is the opportunity to change his life, but there is the risk of losing the freedom he has always cherished. The other side is refusing and facing unpredictable consequences from a powerful family. Finally, Marcus stopped in front of Bennett. I need more time to think, but I want you to know that I'm not easily intimidated. Bennett smiled, picked up his sunglasses, and put them back on. We'll wait for your answer, Mr. Turner. But remember, opportunities like this don't come along very often. After Bennett left, Marcus spent several days reflecting. He talked to Mr. Harris, friends in town, and even spent time rereading his favorite books to find comfort. Ultimately, he realizes that, while power and money can change lives, they also come with burdens he is not willing to bear. Marcus called Bennett and made his decision clear. I'm grateful for the opportunity your family gives me, but I can't accept it. I want to preserve the freedom and values I've always cherished. Bennett was silent for a few seconds, then responded, It's your decision, Mr. Turner. The Collins family respects it, but I advise you to be careful. Although those words contained a warning, Marcus felt relieved. He knew that he had chosen the right path, a path where he could hold his head high and live with himself. The town of Willow Creek is as peaceful as ever, but Marcus knows that his life has changed forever. He learns a valuable lesson. Kindness is not always reciprocated with platitudes, but it is important to maintain your values, even in the face of great temptations.